And think about it. We all uh, are born, we become young children, then adolescents, then young adults, then older adults, and then we become old and age it, and then we die, and stuff happens during our lifetime. Good, the bad, and the ugly happens. So why not stack the odds in our favor? Take hydrogen, and it's like an investment. You take an investment in a good nutritional supplement. It's all natural, all safe, and has all these powerful mechanisms that work within cells and the rest of your body and improve the quality of your life, however long it is. And you want to know something? With our anti-aging studies and other studies that show a decrease of the aging process, guess what? It may buy you more time and a better quality of life. If you get old, why not grow old gracefully in good health rather than suffer with chronic illnesses of aging? And there's so many of them, it's too numerous to mention.
What's up, all my HMN peeps? I'm excited to do another interview today. I have a special guest for you guys, Bob Setteniri. He's been a good friend of mine, and it's honored to be able to have him on H2 Minutes and to do this interview. And we got a special treat because Bob's actually going to walk us through a little bit of a presentation. And so we're going to talk a little hydrogen. Bob actually made a book on hydrogen therapy. We're going to talk about that too. And so with no further ado, Bob, do you want to go ahead and start with the intro and just get right into your presentation?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, let's do it.
Thank you, Taiwan and Kaylee. I really appreciate you inviting me onto your H2 Minutes, and I'm looking forward to sharing the information that I have with everyone. And I want to welcome everyone and thank everyone for chiming in on this and learning more about the wonders of hydrogen.
Yes.
So, Taiwan is going to advance my slides because we had a little bit of technical difficulty. So next slide, please, Taiwan.
Yeah, no problem. So
okay.
Bob, go ahead. I was going to say,
go
my first question for you on the number one was, could you please introduce yourself and share your professional background?
Yeah. Taiwan sent me these questions ahead of time, and I just included them into this PowerPoint presentation. So here's a little bit about my background. I want to keep it very brief. I have a master's in science and dual graduate degrees in immunology and microbiology. Immunology is the study of the immune system, and microbiology is the study of microbes and germs, so to speak, and diseases. My company, I'm the CEO and research director of Sierra Productions Research, and we are a contract research organization that helps with developing scientific, preclinical, and clinical studies for a number of different clients. I have about 65 publications, and many of them are in peer-reviewed biomedical journals. I have patents on 8 dietary supplements and nutritional supplements. I produced educational films and got 37 international awards. Those films were translated in 8 languages and distributed in 80 countries. And most of those films focused on cells, especially cells of the immune system. And that's my love of my life, is the immune system, because it protects our body from all kinds of invasions from the environment and exposure to stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm an author. I published several books, and one in particular we're going to talk about later. So next slide, please, Taiwan.
Yeah. So the next question is, what inspired you to dive into the field of science, particularly focusing on researching the medical effects of molecular hydrogen?
Okay, great question. Okay, about eight years ago or so, I was contracted. My company, Sierra Productions Research, was contracted by a large company that distributed hydrogenized water. And I don't want to talk about the brand names and products, It was I'm a third-party researcher, so they just hire me to study this and find out what the product does. And I
Hmm.
did it in cells. Now, cells are the basic unit of life. If you boil yourself down or micronize yourself into the body, cells make up tissues, like skin tissue, brain tissue, lung tissue. Tissues make up organ, like the heart, the liver, the pancreas, and organs make up systems like the immune system, the neuroendocrine system, the digestive system, and there's many more that you know. And those systems make up the entire body. So everything boils down to the basic unit of life, and that's what? The cell. And I've done research on these studies and published it. I have 3 publications, which I'll briefly describe those later. So next slide, please.
Yeah. Next question is, what aspect of molecular hydrogen's therapeutic effects captivated you the most?
Okay, well, there's 3, and I'll go number 1. It's a powerful antioxidant, but you want to know something? It's not too powerful. It's a selective antioxidant. That means it goes after only the worst free radicals that cause the maximum amount of cell damage. Remember, cells are extraordinarily important, and that's what we're basing our kind of mode of action or mechanism of action of hydrogen. What does it do inside cells? And it works as a cell signaler. It talks to cells, it communicates with them, signals
Hmm.
cells to help them work better.
Yeah.
I'm just boiling down to a very basic, you know, the explanation. And what I think is incredibly important, it reduces and controls inflammation. And if we look into inflammation, what it is, uh, it if it runs rampant, like for example, if you have trauma, you fall and say break your arm and it swells and it's painful, and if it's not repaired properly, or if you didn't go through the surgery to repair it, the inflammation gets worse and starts disseminating throughout the entire body. Now, this is one example, but
Right.
extensive inflammation can cause bodily harm in every cell, every tissue, and every organ of your body. So, to me, molecular hydrogen or H2 is a wonder at regulating or keeping everything in kind of a homeostasis or at a moderate optimum level. Homeostasis means to optimize, right?
Hmm.
Next
Hmm.
slide, please.
Yep. Oh, so you have
Okay,
video
now I want to
first?
I want to go back and I want to talk about free radical damage and oxidative stress. Now, you might know what oxidative stress is, or if you don't, it's the stuff that causes harm to your body. And let's go over just a couple that I'm just going to say off the top of my head. One is we all know that smoking can cause, damage, right, to your cells, tissues, and organs, right?
Mhm.
Absolutely. So could uh, chronic stress. If you're stressed out and if you have maybe loss of a loved one, or you have problems at work, or you have a business situation that's difficult to solve, that chronic stress can decrease your immune response and cause the damage to your cells.
Mhm.
So then there's also like pollution, what's in your environment. If you breathe air, drink water, and eat food, you can breathe in toxins. And there are a lot of toxins. So, plastics and heavy metals in the air, that's what pollution is. Uh, even food that you eat has contaminants and free radicals that are the kit culprits that cause damage to the cells. So I want to show you now, and there's many more. I don't want to waste too much time, but you get the idea of whatever causes harm to your body, that also causes oxidative stress. So let's pinpoint one. I did this time-lapse photography through a microscope. Only a handful of people in the world can do that, and it takes some very sophisticated equipment. I had like $100,000 worth of equipment to do this.
Wow.
And I was able to grow the cells in a little culture vessel and put it on the stage of a upside down, it's called inverted microscope, phase contrast. And I did a time lapse. I put a time lapse camera. So what you're going to see is this videotape that occurred over about a 3-day period, 72 hours, and here's what the cells look like in their normal state. So if you were micronized down into a tiny little human inside the body, and you're standing there, here's what you would see if you see a free radical damage to the cells around you. Okay, so Tyrone, please start the video.
Yeah.
And here you can see the cells look pretty normal, but then you can see some cells, like if you see the cursor, in the upper, like 11 o'clock, you can see some cells boiling and going through a cell agony. And look around 11 o'clock for that group of cells, and you'll see these cells kind of shriveling up. They get round and they change in their appearance, and they start exploding. These cells actually are being killed by that free radical. This is real, true to life oxidative damage. And here you see the entire culture, the entire bottom of all those cells are destroyed by that free radical. And this is a clear picture of what goes on inside your body almost every day. And what we want to do is we want to battle this. We want to keep that immune system to a high level of effectiveness, high energy level. We want to reduce those free radicals, and that's what molecular hydrogen does. It's a selective antioxidant, and it will kill this particular type of free radical, not kill it, but neutralize it, make it harmless.
Right.
And one of the most harmful free radicals is the hydroxyl radical. This is the worst cytotoxic or cell-destroying, cell-destructive free radical known in science. But guess what? Hydrogen can neutralize it, and when it reacts with it, guess what? The hydroxide becomes water. It turns this extraordinarily harmful radical into water. How great is that?
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
I know. It's fascinating. We actually have a video about that showing people how
yes. I saw you. That video was excellent. It's I urge you to see Taiwan's videos, if you, as many as you possibly can. You will learn a ton. I have. I have. Okay, next slide, Taiwan. Next slide.
Let's see. There we go. All right, next question is, can you highlight any significant collaborations with respected scientists in molecular hydrogen research?
Yes, I can. One is Professor Garth Nicholson, who is a Nobel Prize nominee.
Wow.
And he's on all of the publications that we did together. And we wrote a review article back in, I think it was 2000 and
is it 16, 14, 15? I think
yeah,
it's the one.
Yeah,
it's a review article. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't keep track of all the dates, but we published that. He was the principal author, the key author, and Dr. Ota, the next gentleman down, was also on that publication and all the other publications that I did. And we collaborated in, I wrote the protocols for the studies that we've done, the original research, and they were also participants in the review article. So Dr. Ota wrote the seminal article on the antioxidant effects of hydrogen in 2007. And that built a cascade of research around the world. It was a shocker. And more publications grew. And I'll tell you the number in a little while, but Dr. Ota was known as the father of hydrogen, and still is. He's number one world's leading authority, and Dr. Nicholson is a pretty high level scientist himself.
Right.
Helped quite a few people. Also, Dr. Tyler Barron is the founder and the CEO of the Molecular Hydrogen Institute, MHI, Molecular Hydrogen Institute. And that's an educational nonprofit site that provides scientific information on hydrogen. And wow, is that he is prolific. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of studies that he has talked about, reviewed, capsulized, and you can go onto a site and download as many as you want. All for you can search, like say for example, brain health, and you'll see dozens and dozens of articles on molecular hydrogen and brain
Mhm.
conditions. And then of course our one and only Taiwan, in these 2 minutes, and I learned so much from Taiwan and his site. And I'll go into a little more detail later, but his site, he's considered one of the leaders and experts in the field because of his vast year. How many years, Taiwan? How many years?
Yeah,
Like,
pushing nearly a decade now.
yeah, 10-year experience. That is huge. That's more experience than I have. I started maybe 9 years ago, or yeah, maybe 10, but it's still Taiwan is a go-to place to get great information. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. So next slide.
Thanks, Bob. Okay. Next question is, could you highlight our audience or enlighten, sorry, could you enlighten our audience about some of the findings from your research on molecular hydrogen, such as the insights presented in this article?
Yeah, that's one of my publications. I have three, but to give you a synopsis of all the publications, uh, we did studies on antioxidant capacity of hydrogen. And remember, this was all in vitro, which means inside human cells. And that's really the basic, as we said, cells make up tissues, tissue make organs, organs make up systems, systems make up the the body.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can find out what happens inside the cell, its mechanism or mode of action, how does it work inside cells? This is what we concentrated on, and this is what we elaborated in our research. And what made it kind of unique is that we did dosing effects. We did a dose response, different concentrations. So we looked at antioxidants with the most powerful, devastating free radicals. We looked at glucose, which we found out that hydrogen can reduce the amount of glucose that gets into your bloodstream, and that's also reduced in your intestine. You eat a lot of sugar and carbohydrates. Too much can cause um, oxidative stress, oxidative damage, and a lot can cause obesity, heart disease, cancer, and more. So we found out hydrogen is great on reducing that uptake of glucose when you eat a lot of carbohydrates and especially refined sugar.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst, high fructose corn syrup and high sugar, and there's a lot of it all over the place. And sometimes it's hidden in a lot of stuff that we eat. So got to be careful. And we also did some really great discoveries on anti-aging. And we found out that hydrogen can stimulate these biomarkers, these markers that are inside cells that are noted to keep the cells in a youthful condition. And one of these was SIRT1, SIRT1. I don't want to get into the real technical aspects of that, but that's very involved.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then number two is telomeres, the enzyme that helps telomeres become longer or stay longer to keep the DNA in from not leaking out of the chromosome.
Right.
And
Telomerase.
yeah, telomerase, right. And we discovered those two, and we found out hydrogen can really improve the amounts of those two proteins inside human cells.
Yeah, if I wasn't mistaken, ain't it like 148% or something?
Right on. Yeah. Wow. What a memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. 148% increase, which is huge. And it was all done inside the cell. We found out that hydrogenized water, can increase the telomerase activity by 148%. So, a very unique find, and we did it. And a lot of a lot of these results that we got were also verified through other studies in animals, humans, and other in vitro assays. So, it's not like we're discovering something new. We discovered how it works and about the concentration that it works in. That's what's new. But we're verifying and proving over and over again what has been found elsewhere in the literature. And if you look at like hydrogen in brain conditions and stuff like that, you'll see a lot of studies of neurodegenerative diseases being improved or the symptoms lessened by taking hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the last is brain health. And we looked at things like glutamate toxicity. Now that you may not know what that is, but it's a free radical that does a number on your brain. And the bottom line effects it causes nervousness, it causes ill feelings, it causes rage, it causes bad temper, it causes um, you become argumentative. Uh, in my younger days, I had a few girlfriends like that.
For
But
sure.
and then the second part of the aging was the ability for hydrogen to increase the amount of the most powerful antioxidant made by the body. And we looked at the brain cells and we asked the question, can hydrogenized water improve the concentration or the amount of glutathione, the most powerful antioxidant, the number one best antioxidant made by the body naturally? And guess what? Lo and behold, it did. It increased that glutathione amount produced in brain cells. So that's a capsulization of the research. And the publications are a little difficult to read, but you can download them online if you want to, pour through the technical stuff. But I'm giving you the kind of a brief, summary.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. Next.
All right. Next question is, what motivated you to write a book centered around molecular hydrogen?
Okay. I couldn't stop myself from writing this book. I had to write it. It was too important. I needed to get the information out. I wanted to. My goal and my dream. I have a dream.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
my
Me
dream
too.
my dream is to get hydrogen available or have people take hydrogen any way they can. And we'll go through the routes of how it's taken, but any way they can. I want that information to get out to every man, woman, and child in the entire world. And I think my dream will be answered if that will happen. And people like Taiwan and all my other colleagues, and if I get a chance to do more research, I want to do that. And I want to write more books too. So hands-on research was very powerful for me because I saw it with myself and my colleagues. I saw it with my own eyes, the power of hydrogen in human living cells, and not just one type of cell, but many different types, and especially brain cells. Now, I also, but with this company, it was a pretty large company, and they sent me all over the country and in Japan and in China to talk and give presentations on the research that I did, which is very robust. There's a lot of. It took hours to do these, but in those meetings, I met and talked to hundreds. I swear, over the years, for 7 years in a row, hundreds of people who take hydrogenized water and take hydrogen. And I found out I was witnessed to all kinds of things that happen to these people with their conditions, to their health, and even healthy people. How hydrogen made them feel even better.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible the responses that I saw, and they even showed me before and after pictures of their friends, their family, and so on. And here's the thing that blew me away. Check this out. Worldwide research, H2 publications. There are over 2,000 studies on hydrogen as we speak today. 2,000, and there's more and more coming on each month. and in over 170 disease conditions in humans and animals, and of course in cells too, but in both human and animals, 170 disease conditions. I don't know of any pharmaceutical, I don't know of any dietary supplement, nutritional supplement in the entire world that meets these qualifications. 2,000 studies, 170 disease conditions. Blew me away. I had to write this book, and every word in the book is based on science, just like Taiwan does. Everything that he puts forth is based on validated clinical studies and animal studies that are published in peer-reviewed, reputable journals. That is, to me, outstanding. I had to write the book, so that's my reason. Three reasons. Okay,
Oh,
next.
hey, I think, hey, as just to say a few things, don't mean to interject into your presentation, but
Oh, no problem.
no, but it's just like you said, starting to look at the literature and seeing the potential of hydrogen. You just can't, like, you got to do something. You got to do something with it,
Yeah, and
and
you're doing a lot because you're revealing on a very great level. You're revealing the and actually kind of translate or rehash the key points of the publications. You put the publication up and you highlight it in yellow and you explain it and read it. That is reinforcement after reinforcement, validation after validation, on and on and on. And you do this in how many H2 minutes have you done? At least.
oh man, we are about to cross, I think, 70 actual featured H2 minutes videos, but we actually have more than 100 uploaded videos to our channel. So we have more than 100 videos on hydrogen therapy,
How
all
great is that?
supported with scientific literature. So
Talk,
we can
talk
produce
about,
far more.
yeah, and talk about being motivated to give out information. I mean, Taiwan and Kaylee, they do a phenomenal job on getting that information out, and they say it in different ways. They might maybe repeat one subject, but then they say it over and over again. And again, if the repetition gains the retention. So if they say it in different ways and get you to understand it over and over again, then it's like learning your ABCs. How did you learn your ABCs? Well, you had to rehearse it, right? When you're a
Right.
kid and say it over and over. And they even made a song out of the alphabet. Remember? A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Uh-huh.
And you sing that over and over and you look at the alphabet and you memorize it, and that's great. And this is what we want to do as hydrogen scientists and researchers and educators. We want to provide that information in many different ways and make it kind of digestible, so
Mm-hmm.
you can regurgitate it to others, to your family, your friends, your loved ones, and so on. Get the information out and help them to be on it so they can help their cells and help the cells help the body. So in
Absolutely.
essence, hydrogen is helping the body to help itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like in our videos, in a vast majority of them, we will definitely cover, first and foremost, that hydrogen has the potential to reduce or regulate oxidative stress in the body and inflammation. And we beat that dead horse so that people can get it, because these two potential targets are huge for human health and for longevity and for disease prevention.
Yeah,
And so knowing that hydrogen helps with this, if you don't get anything else from our videos with whatever disease model we want to talk about, at the bottom of that disease model, they're probably going to find some dysregulation of the antioxidant and free radical systems, and you're going to find some dysregulation of the immune system.
right.
And so, like you said, I try to repeat it often, and we get into kind of the specifics on certain things. But like I said, we kind of translate it and try to make it simple. But one of the things we try to do is repeat that so that people can understand it, and then they can go around and tell everyone else.
Yeah,
This is one of the ways that hydrogen helps with so many different disease models.
that's right. And that's key. and think about what Taiwan is saying. Um, we there's so much to talk about, but let's just go back and we missed I missed explaining that
Mm.
hydrogen is the simplest, smallest, lightest molecule that's and no other molecule can do this. It goes through, when you ingest it, it goes through your cells, inside of your cells, into your cytoplasm, into the organelles, and it pumps up the mitochondria. These are the energy furnaces of your body. It makes them more powerful, gives you more energy, right, of the cell. And it gets into the nucleus, the brain of your cells, and even into the DNA. No other antioxidant or molecule can do that from getting inside your cell, and then it releases in your bloodstream, and it goes to every other cell, tissue, and organ of your body, and it goes through the blood-brain barrier, which very few things can do. And sometimes drugs can do that, pharmaceuticals, but then you got massive side effects too. So the beauty of hydrogen is it goes everywhere and it produces its cell signaling, homeostasis regulation, or balances the body, like hydrogen, Taiwan was mentioning. It balances, makes it more optimal, produces an optimum level of health throughout your entire body, and it works continuously. If you take it every day, it reorganizes, goes into your cells and into your tissues every single day, and helps with, I believe, prevention too. When you take it, I think you can prevent some disease from happening. Now, we really can't talk too much about disease, claiming diseases for any one product, but
Right.
hydrogen in general has, and if you look at the studies and hear what Taiwan is saying in its H2 minutes, it's mind-boggling. 2,000 publications, 170 disease conditions. You can't get around that. That's the facts.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and we can move forward. Okay, so question number 7. What sets your book on hydrogen therapy apart and makes it unique?
Real quick, it's simple, it's easy to read, easy to understand. As I said, easy to digest, right? You want to
Mhm.
digest it and assimilate it right into knowledge. And it focuses on how H2 hydrogen works with your cells, which again, the basic unit of life. Remember, cells make up tissues, tissue make up organs, organs make up systems, systems make up the body. So everything goes down to the basic unit of life. And the whole book is centered around that. And the book has demonstrations, conversations, kind of fun cartoons, a lot of cartoons that tell how hydrogen it communicates with cells. So uh, I don't want to show you too much because it takes too much time. But if you read the book, you'll see that it's kind of fun too. It rivets your attention and it keeps you interested to keep on reading. And that's one of the ways it's different. And I
Oh,
wanted to help people to simply and easily understand the phenomenal wonders of hydrogen. That's another part of my dream. Okay,
man,
next.
I can go ahead and vouch for it, everyone. I've read the book, read the book, and yes, I think that that's one of the primary important things to consider when actually trying to do an endeavor like this. Is if you want to get hydrogen to the masses, you have to put it in layman's terms. You have to put it in a format in which a broad majority of people can understand. And
Yes.
Bob, you did such a great job with that, with the whole interactions with cells, and how you illustrate some of that stuff and kind of help
Oh,
people wrap these
thank you.
concepts around their mind.
Thank
Uh,
you, Tyrone. That means a
and it,
lot coming. Means a
yes, man,
lot.
it definitely makes it easier to understand, digest, and then see the benefit of hydrogen. Sometimes when you're doing when it's all the medical jargon, people get lost, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. But since you've actually kind of packaged it in this way, I think it's going to be a big hit for everyone.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Just music to my ears. Thank you, Tyrone. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, um, Dr. Ota, Dr. Tyler LeBaron, and Dr. Garth Nicholson, the Nobel Prize nominee, all did forward to the book. They did their commentary, and that's a forward by experts in the field. And so I usually it's one forward that goes with a book, but I wanted to do all three, so I call it the forward, the fast forward, and the super fast forward. So we got three powerful experts in the field saying that what they said about the book, which was, they liked it and they gave positive responses, positive forwards. And you'll see it in the book.
Yeah, I don't think you can get any better forwards from those,
Yeah.
having those guys.
Yeah. Okay, so next.
Okay. Next question is, could you outline the specific topics related to hydrogen therapy that you discuss in your book?
Okay, let's talk about general health. People who have or are in a good state of health, who you know don't have a disease, but they might have some stiffness, or sometimes they get fatigued in the afternoon. They get tired. Uh, they want to have a more vital and spend more time with their children or in sports, or they want to improve the capacity of their sports to a higher level. They want to get that competitive edge. They want to build their immune system. These are all basic things that I've experienced some myself with taking hydrogen. And also it helps with skin health and improves appearance. And all these are kind of outlined in my book, and I talk about all of these, but I talk about it in how the cells make this happen through the power of hydrogen. And then, so that's some of the things. Let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
And we talk about pain in the book, about aging. Inflammation is you'll see that word over and over and over again, because it has been reported in so many scientific studies. You can't disregard it. It's just too powerful. And hydrogen reduces or controls inflammation. And then sports injury with trauma, cuts, bruises, breaks of the bone, surgeries, any sports injuries or trauma to the body. We talk about that. Of course, we talk about brain health and your energy level. Remember, we talked about the mitochondria, the sites of energy synthesis, energy production in the body, the batteries of the cell that gives you power. Hydrogen works fantastic to increase the function of the mitochondria. Okay, next. Okay, also, let's go around this clock. You can see all of the tissues and organs that are affected by H2. The brain, lungs, kidneys, muscles, bones, joints, skin, pancreas, central nervous system, that's brain stuff, liver, intestines, immune system, blood cells, heart, eyes, and especially the brain, because that is, if you have a good working brain, so you have more focus, more mental clarity, better to concentrate, better to accomplish your goals that you want to do. That, to me, is fantastic. And hydrogen helps with improving brain function, first by the cells and then by the organ itself. Okay, next.
Okay, so the next question is, how can interested readers obtain a copy of your book?
Okay, so Taiwan, I'd like you to describe that, because we worked out a situation where we can help support H2 minutes.
Yes.
And let's tell your audience about that.
Yeah, so first of all, audience and everyone out there who's going to watch this video, Bob has made it available through H2 Hub, my other company, where we kind of test hydrogen products and educate and teach people. But it's made it available for everyone to get it at a discount, everyone. So take advantage of this. The discount is going to be 10% off, and you can actually use the discount code H2Hub10 when you go to his website. We're going to have this his link to his website in the description of this video. But all the proceeds will go to supporting H2 Minutes and allowing us to produce more videos. And so please go buy this book. Not only will it support H2 Minutes, but I believe it's going to end and Bob, but you're going to benefit so much from it. You're going to learn so much about hydrogen. You're going to see how it can benefit your body. And it's just another tool for you to be able to not have for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, and for others to learn about it, because we need more things like this to help everyone understand the potential of hydrogen. And so, Bob, you've been doing such a great job with it, and you did a fantastic job with this book. And so this is one way of getting this book and getting, basically getting this book at a discounted price through H2 Hub. And that's going to benefit H2 Minutes. So thank you so much, Bob, for helping my audience be able to acquire your book at a discount.
Yeah, you're most welcome. And if this will work and you guys do sign up to get the book, it's very reasonably priced. You can read it, I'd say, within average 2.5 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours. Fast readers can do it in an hour and a half. But I want to give special notoriety and special thanks to Kaylee, who supports Taiwan. And when you see the new versions of his H2 Minutes, they are spectacular. And Kaylee is doing all this wonderful, very exciting editing, like making words dance and she's so accurate in the pacing of whenever Taiwan makes a statement, she supports it with these beautiful graphics, images and graphics and words that fly on and right on the screen. So it's almost like a moving PowerPoint with a speaker. But it's better because it's all motion, right? Better than the PowerPoint. So thank you, Kaylee, very much. And I'm so pleased that you're involved with supporting Taiwan. And I know you're a team, and I know he doesn't do anything without your help.
Absolutely.
Your advice.
Yes, right? Thanks for getting a shout out to my wonderful wife who helps me with this. And I've said it often, don't say it enough in videos, which we need to, but H2 Minutes would not be here if it was not for her. And she does all the work with the editing and makes me look good and makes the videos look good. And she's only gotten better at this over the years. And so we actually are going to be producing, some new videos going to be coming out soon. And I'm excited for everyone to see all the editing that's gone into it. But she's the backbone of H2 Minutes. I know I get to be the face, but she's the backbone.
Yeah. You also have a cast too. I've seen videos that you produced with your two sons, and they're kick. I mean, and these kids really, they take hydrogen themselves, they support it, and they're funny. They have a lot of personality.
Yes.
So if you can see those videos, I highly recommend that. They're a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next slide.
Okay. Next question is, if you had the opportunity to impart one key lesson about hydrogen to the viewers, what would it be?
Okay, this is my dream, and this is what is the key lesson that I want to put forth. Learn about hydrogen, share the knowledge, learn your ABCs, the hydrogen ABCs of what it does, how it works, how great it is, how it can help your health, and share it with your family, your friends, your loved ones, anybody you talk to. I talk to people in restaurants, and when I'm waiting in line at the supermarket, I just ask them. I have the balls enough to say, "Hey, have you ever heard of hydrogen?" They go, "What?" H2 that you can drink or inhale, and it has a lot of these health benefits. And they go, "No, I haven't." And sometimes have a little, they're a little standoffish because I'm a stranger. I said, you know what? It does all kinds of incredible things. And then I go through boom, 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 the different points, maybe 3 or 4 points. And then they start getting interested. And they said, really? And then I said, I wrote a book. And if you're interested, here's my card. You're welcome to, take a look at it on my website and get an overview of what it's all about. And it's up to you. But I would highly recommend for you and your family and your health. And so I can't stop talking about it. I just cannot stop talking. Gotta get the word out. Gotta get every man,
Gotta
woman,
get the word out, man.
yeah,
Everybody, your family, your friends. We're definitely like-minded in that. I want the world on it. Once you, like you said, once you know what we know and get to read what we've read and have it all in there, and do the work that you've done.
yeah.
It's you want everyone to get this because
Yeah,
it can benefit
it's
everyone.
too good to overlook. It's too good not to at least try it to see for
Right.
yourself. And a lot of companies, the reputable companies, if it doesn't work, you can always return it and get your money back. Most companies do that, right, Taiwan?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Have like a
if
30-day or some kind of
yeah,
policy.
but if you do see a benefit, no matter what it is, like for example, I was highly critical when I first got involved, and I had some, I'm a senior citizen, and I had some, issues, digestive problems. I had sleep, some, difficulties in sleep, digestive in the point of, um, dysbiosis with, stomach pains and esophageal reflux, acid in my esophagus, and diarrhea and constipation. And that was getting worse and worse. I was getting older. I took hydrogen, mostly in water, drinking water. It's gone. All those symptoms are gone. And I'm trying to complement in living a little bit better lifestyle, with a little more exercise, a little better nutrition than I was. But I think the key reason for this change in my body is because of hydrogen. Now, that's my own personal experience, but I don't take pharmaceuticals, zero, none at all. And I try to eat well, but I still fall off on, I love carbs like everybody else. I love ice cream. I can eat a whole gallon of ice cream. And but yet I have to, force myself for not to. But with the use of hydrogen, is not saying if you take hydrogen, then you can eat a gallon of ice cream, no problem. You still gotta, you know, be be aware that too much is no good.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
But like taking hydrogen does end up helping the body, like you said, regulate those systems to kind of be able to deal with, eating some ice cream every now and then, and
Yeah.
not necessarily going through the same challenges that you might be doing if you didn't have it.
Yeah. And it also is instrumental in helping to control your weight. To a little bit, that's to a lesser extent, but it does have that ability to be part of weight management.
Mm-hmm.
And if you complement with a good lifestyle and plus the hydrogen, they work in combination, synergistic effect to where
Yeah.
they complement each other and cause a better balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it reminds me of an article where they shown that hydrogen was able to upregulate a liver hormone called FGF21
Yeah.
and improve metabolism.
Yeah. And that's
And
important.
it can help with weight loss and weight
Yeah.
management
And diabetes
and
and
diabetes.
metabolic syndrome,
Mhm.
pre-diabetes.
Yeah, same thing with the
Okay.
fat hormone adiponectin. Showing
Yeah.
hydrogen can regulate that one, and that has same benefits for, like you said, diabetes and metabolic syndrome and these type of metabolic issues, right, with the body. So
Yeah. See what knowledge does? I mean, Taiwan can spit these out because they're off the top of his head. And the reason is repetition. He reads and studies it and then knows enough to share it with others.
absolutely.
Okay.
Now we want you guys to do the same. So go buy
Yeah.
Bob's book because it'll help you do the same.
Yeah. Please, please. We pray. We pray that you do that. Okay. Next slide.
Okay. I think this might be our last question, Bob.
I think there's one more.
Okay. As a supporter of H2 Minutes, what is your perspective on the significance of educating people about hydrogen?
Okay, so again, I'm getting a little repetitious, but let's get the word out. Tell everybody in the world, everybody, if you're in line in a grocery store, that's what I do, whatever. And you don't force it on them. You just say, hey, you know what? I just read about, and I wrote a book about this because I was so interested in hydrogen. But you don't have to say you wrote a book. You say, I read a book, or I listened to H2 Minutes, and it's really captivating. I mean, the health benefits, wondrous benefits of hydrogen. And you get a little enthusiastic and passionate about it. And people kind of say, okay, tell me more. So again, get the word out. Uh, watch H2 Minutes. I urge you to tell your friends and your families and neighbors and acquaintances to chime in. Give them the website. Write it down on a piece of paper and say, go to this website, H2 Minutes, and go on YouTube, and you will get some phenomenal information that is based on facts, proven scientific evidence, and published research studies. Now, people might say, what are you talking about? He says, look, the only how do you get drugs approved? How do you get pharmaceuticals approved? The reason is they do studies and they spend millions and millions and millions of dollars, and it takes sometimes 10 or 20 years from conception to get a drug approved by the FDA. Well, hydrogen is not a drug, it's natural. Pharmaceuticals don't want anything to do with it because they can't patent it. They can't sell it because it's on the generally recognized as safe list, and they can't make money on it. They won't be able to make money. So what do? They push it aside. And same with a lot of doctors. They only want to prescribe medications and pharmaceuticals that are FDA approved. And some of those have some pretty nasty side effects.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas hydrogen is, to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, Taiwan,
Mm-hmm.
we have not found any side effects, any adverse reactions, any drug nutrient complications, or any adverse or untoward reactions from hydrogen in both animals and man. Am I correct on that?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any in my research. There's no cell damaging or cytotoxic effects of hydrogen we've seen so far, and it makes a logical sense when you look at it, how it's not foreign to our bodies. Our gut flora naturally produces it, and so we're exposed to hydrogen every day. At a certain level. So, but yeah, I haven't seen any scientific literature to suggest that there's some kind of adverse or negative effects of hydrogen so far.
Yeah, yeah. And that's confirmed by all of my colleagues, all of the people who are experts and leaders in the field, and Taiwan is one of them. And then the last thing, I would really hope you would get my book and enjoy it and read it and pass it on. Give it to others, after you read it, and say, look, there's some interesting information about that. And there's a lot of health benefits of hydrogen. And if you do get it, then you're supporting the H2 Minutes, which is, I would like to see Taiwan do this ongoing till the end of time, till the end of days, and then have his kids take over it and have H2 Minutes by Junior 1 and H2 Minutes by Junior 2.
Maybe Junior 3. Just keep it
really?
going. Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah, 3 boys.
oh, 3. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
3
great.
boys.
And then maybe you'll have another 3 later.
I don't know. Pump the brakes there, Bob. Pump the brakes.
Okay, so let's go on to the last slide.
Okay.
Last question.
Okay. Given your endorsement of H2 Minutes, what aspects of H2 Minutes do you believe makes it crucial or essential in the hydrogen industry?
Okay, now I have five five-star ratings. Okay, H2 Minutes gives accurate information. I mean, Taiwan does not bullshit. He doesn't make up stuff. He
Hmm.
bases everything on published, validated clinical and preclinical studies,
Hmm.
and that's the 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 researcher's code. Researchers want to provide truth as accurate as possible. Now, things may change, and new studies might come out that will revamp an old study. But again, during the period, we give the best information we probably can, possibly can, and H2 Minutes does that, and it does that in spades. I mean, extraordinarily well. Number two, H2 Minutes is based on published research studies from reputable, peer-reviewed journals. You know that are some of the best in in the journal publication industry.
Hmm.
Number three, H2 Minutes kind of rifles the approach on the health benefits of hydrogen. I mean, really important. And there's so many. And then H2 Minutes provides valuable information to improve the quality of your life. And think about it. We all uh, are born, we become young children, then adolescents, then young adults, then older adults, and then we become old and age it, and then we die. And stuff happens during our lifetime. Good, the bad, and the ugly happens. So why not stack the odds in our favor? Take hydrogen, and it's like an investment. You take an investment in a good nutritional supplement. It's all natural, all safe, and has all these powerful mechanisms that work within cells and the rest of your body and improve the quality of your life, however long it is. And you want to know something? With our anti-aging studies and other studies that show a decrease of the aging process, guess what? It may buy you more time and a better quality of life. If you get old, why not grow old gracefully in good health rather than suffer with chronic illnesses of aging? And there's so many of them, they're too numerous to mention. And
Right.
then, and then, you know, Taiwan with Kaylee's help with editing, they make it fun and entertaining. I mean, it's really fascinating how Kaylee can edit the words that Taiwan speaks and make it uh, very interesting and very captivating. And I try to do that in my book, but again, it's a different approach. They
Right.
have a video that's very, very powerful. Okay, and then lastly, I want to next slide. I want to thank you so much. I really appreciate you listening to this and offering your attention. And hopefully, you can you know continue to look and tell your neighbors and friends and family about H2 Minutes. Do that, and if you can, please consider getting my book and sharing the information or giving it away to people. Some people buy multiple copies of the book and you get discounts. And remember, it's supporting H2 Minutes. And then they share it with others. They give it to others as a gift or a birthday present or Christmas present or whatever, or just a general thank you gift for being a friend and a family member. Here's to your health. And if you have hydrogen water, you drink to their health.
Yeah, man. Or if you have hydrogen inhalation, you breathe to their health.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Bob. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy life and schedule to go ahead and give a presentation for H2 Minutes, and kind of talk about your life, your work, hydrogen therapy, and why people should be engaging in it, and even sharing more information about your book. So everyone out there, all H2 Minutes audience, go buy Bob's book if you want to go ahead and continue to learn about hydrogen therapy in a new way. That's different from just watching my videos. You can actually physically have something in hand that you can read. And so we really appreciate you going through going through this presentation and teaching all this stuff and actually putting in the work to write the book. It really is a awesome resource. And we're actually going to be having it on our Issue Hub website, so people can access it and see it there. And everyone, remember, I'm going to double down on it. You can get 10% off, of Bob's book by using the discount code Issue Hub 10. This information will be in the description of this video, as well as the link to his website to purchase it. And so you can do that. And so that's it. Bob, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yeah, thank you, Taiwan and Kaylee. Thank you so much. And I thank you both from the bottom of my heart.
Awesome. Same from us.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Take care.